Incredible Hulk is what this is. I've got a green screen going. I don't know if my cup is probably translucent. God bless it. Man, I ain't trying to hear it. I'm busy. I'm tied up right now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Shout out to you guys. Figured I would do this live stream here on the YouTube side over on Joe Does Stuff versus Twitch, where I normally have been doing live streams. Reason for being over here, I can't get a video edited in time, and I've got a whole bunch of video to get edited. So I figured let's do it live. Live streaming for a living? I used to do that, but now I don't. Shout out to you guys. I also did this for the reason that I read a comment one time, and somebody said, Joe, do some live streams over on the YouTube side because not everybody uses Twitch. I get it. So here I am. I've been filming today. Wanted to spend today just completely filming. Should not even have gotten out of the bed today. Should not even have left the house today. But I did. Regret doing so. And I'm back super early. I literally only had $150 worth of work today. Stretched that to a meager $200 and then split that with my guy. Diabolical, if you ask me. There's people holding up signs on the side of the road making more than $100 a day. There's people flying a sign on the internet making more than that. But you know what? You got to take what you can get, and you got to go do it. I made a comment in the video that I was filming earlier, and I'll probably live to regret it, but I'll share it with you here too so that you can tell me about it first. I said, you know, what did I say? I said, sometimes it's like, if it ain't enough money, it's not even worth going to get type shit. Kind of makes sense. Hey, Curtis, what's going on? Number one, long time, man. Relock, what it do? Blake, I see you right there. Colin, what it do? SL Griff, what it do, man? Timothy, what's up? JoJo, I see you right there. Can, what's going on? True Blue. Shout out to True Blue, Michigan. Did Michigan play this weekend? I don't think that they did. But Zach Bryan played Michigan in front of 112,000 people. Man, crazy shit, man. Hope you guys are having a great Monday morning. Monday. And, yeah, man, good start to your week. Hopefully I can add to that a little bit. Every day wondering what's going on with you, man. Shout out to you. Sorry I haven't been in contact. I've been fighting for my life over here, kind of feel like. Jeremy, what's going on? Shout out to you, Hillbilly. Yeah, so had a little bit of work today, nothing too major. And really, this whole week is just a couple of little odds and end jobs. Tomorrow, we're going to go work for the real estate guy. Wednesday, we've got an exterior door job to do. But the crazy thing is I've got all this big work out there, and I ain't hearing nothing back on it. And I tried to spend today following up with people, and ain't nobody hitting me up for nothing. Yo, there's a pergola we're supposed to be building. There's a deck delete we're supposed to be doing. There's an entire garage we were supposed to be roofing. Man, we had a lot of work out there. And who the hell knows? I had a guy hit me up over the weekend talking about a kitchen remodel, and he said he was trying to do it on a budget. And I was like, okay, cool. You know, if you're looking for a budget remodel, I guess I'm your guy because my price is unbelievably low. Not because I want it to be. It's because my bidding is not the greatest. But Buddy told me he was trying to put peel and stick tile in his kitchen. I said, all right, you trolling me now. You know who I am. You troll. Nah, he was being serious. How do you charge for peel and stick tile? He was trying to put the peel and stick on the countertop. I'm like, yo, how you even charge for that? Every day when it says, have you looked into doing some live streaming in the casino, get a sponsor, do some online gambling? Yeah, I mean, I got 4 VPNs, so we could definitely go do some online gambling. I went to the casino this weekend. I got my head busted a little bit. My wife really did. I thought I was going to save the day. And, yeah, it's an adventure every time we go into the casino. I imagine it's like this for most anybody. The one thing that I don't ever understand is when you go into the casino and you see somebody who's winning, like they hit a freaking hand pay or some shit. The lights going off up top. They got to come bring them the W-2, you know. You get your little $1,500 payout, which is crazy because most of the payouts are roughly about $1,500 in the casino. I'm sure they've got this algorithm mapped out. But in order to hit the hand pay, where they got to come bring you the cash and give you that damn tax form right there, just imagine what you spent to get to that. But it's crazy because when my wife and I go to the casino, and I don't gamble anymore. I'm just a hype man for my wife. But when we go to the casino, you'll sit down and like somebody's like hitting right beside you. And they look like they're having a great time. But most of the time that we go in there, I say most of the time because it is like this. There's a few times we go in there, we just start hitting. But most of the time we go in there, we get down pretty quick. Down 300. And then it's like, okay, what are we going to do? Are we going to leave out of here down 300? We're already pissed off about that. We've only been in here for 30 minutes. Or are you going to try to fight to get that shit back? Now, when you fight to try to get it back, you either go down even more or you strike. And this last weekend was exactly that. So we go into the casino. Man, we're in there for less than an hour, and we're down $340. Not to mention, Joe got a football ticket in for $100. That's the only gambling I've been doing is the college football. I'm probably about to start betting on the Giants and Ole Miss heavy because both of them are looking really good. But we go into the casino, we're down $340 within an hour. We had like a $140 ticket from last week. And then we got a little bit of money that we've been playing with that we won a couple of weeks ago. It was like $700 we won off of like $100 or some shit. My wife won it. So we just been toying with that. So my wife digs into that a little bit. We're down $340. So we start playing craps. They got the bubble craps machine. And, man, my wife just starts striking on this damn thing. So we go up $320. Needless to say, by the end of the night, we were down $200. My wife was down $100. And, of course, my football ticket, Joe got the worst luck in the world. That shit didn't hit. Almost did, but it didn't. So I lost $100. My wife lost $100. Matthew says, I lost $10K in 4 minutes on DraftKings. Made me want to throw up. If you lost $10K on DraftKings, that's a major that's a major bet right there. Good God. I use the casino book, our local casino book now. It's fine enough. DraftKings won't let me use that. It's funny because when I was gambling heavy doing the sports betting and I was betting like $1,500 a baseball game, and I was living that Whoa Black Betty. I thought I was George Young. I thought I was a freaking like a bookie. I thought I was freaking Ray Liotta in Goodfellas or some shit. I thought I was Robert De Niro with the big dumbass Coke bottle glasses on in that movie Casino. But I looked at my DraftKings or FanDuel, whichever one of those I was using. My little profit loss statement that they give you. I had gambled $10,000, but my profit was $15,000. So Joe actually did better than I won more than I lost when I was doing that. Redskin Chris, what it do, man? Brett, what it do? Beaches, your name looks familiar. Joe doesn't read many comments. He just doesn't respond to most of them. We duel his gambling, though. We fuel his gambling, though. I'm not a gambler like that. I really ain't. But don't get me wrong. I watch those videos on social media and Everyday Winning. You're absolutely right. Them videos crush. And, I can't remember the guy's name. There's two of them. Like Brett Ski's one of them that I watch. The degenerate gambler dude. But I can't remember the other guy, the older gentleman that I like. And he's super successful. That guy pisses money away on slot machines and roulette. I wouldn't mind getting into that. Listening Fat says, I'm waiting for Taco Bell. I'm getting ready to go on a 5-day fast. Straight water. And to make that shit even better, I'm going to do it a little bit like Kai Syndicate. You know, he just did his Mafia-thon and hit 1 million subs on Twitch. Not sure if you guys have seen that. A sub on Twitch is roughly about, what, $5? It's a 50-50 split. He probably gets way more than that. He probably gets 80%. Can you imagine having 1 million paid subscribers? Buddy's probably making like $8 million a month type shit just off of subs. But I'm going to do something similar during my 5-day fast. Vegas Matt. That's his name, Dan. I like Vegas Matt. I'm going to do a 5-day fast. I watched the video on it. It changed my whole outlook on life. Buddy chronicled it. He was calculating and keeping tabs on his ketosis. I think he was using a damn, a glycectomy bag. What do you call that? The glycose thing for the diabetes. I think he was using something like that to calculate ketosis. And ketosis is when your body is straight burning fat. It doesn't have food. It's just burning fat. And allegedly, the way the story goes, you can survive for as long as your body's got fat to burn. So if you're a bigger fella like I am, I might be able to survive for a month without eating. Young Low says, how the dog's doing? Dogs are long gone. We're no longer a dog family, unfortunately. Yeah, I've been seeing that comment a lot, like people trying to box me in on that thing. And I've addressed that a few different times. But if you missed that, dogs just didn't jive well with my son. So the dogs had to go. And they're living a much better life now. Merchant of England, what's going on? Which shout out to you. Appreciate you guys being here. Beaches, I do know that you do talk your shit, and you have been here since the beginning. Sometimes you're for me, sometimes you're against me. I'm okay with it. It is what it is. Guns and Gear says 5 days a fast is very unhealthy. I don't care. Buddy off the internet said, no, you got to look into this. You should, because this guy's video went viral. I'm sure like Reddit picked it up. It was a very well put together video. He chronicled the whole thing. He vlogged it. He did a lot of, scientific shit with it, like the glucose meter and whatnot. In 5 days, he lost 10 pounds. He wasn't even a fat dude to start with. He was already in good shape. So he lost 10 pounds in 5 days. The first 4 days were unbelievably grueling for him. But then when he hit like the 5th or 6th day, he said he felt like God body. He had like this energy that was like unmatched, and I want to experience it. Like, I want to see what it's about. And then the comment section, there were a lot of people who were saying, oh, yeah, I do this like once every 6 months, cleanse the soul, cleanse the spirit type shit. I just want to live stream it for the views. So to get back to the Kai Syndicate, Joe ADD type shit, not only is Joe going to go on a 5-day quest of fasting, I'm also going to do cooking videos the entire time. We're going to cook good shit, though. No more of that prison bullshit with a ramen soup, crushing that dumbass shit up on the floor. No, we're not doing that. Damn, you know what I forgot to do? Hey, I forgot to monetize this shit. I know over on Twitch, I don't be trying to give y'all no ads, but on the YouTube side, though, when I got 100 people up in here, shit, that's 10 cents. You better turn the ads on. It don't matter. By the end of this, it'll be demonetized just by me saying that. So, yeah, your boy's getting ready to start doing cooking videos. Again, but different. Because we're not going to cook the prison shit. I'm a big fan of Cajun food, like, jambalayas and shit, what else do I like? etouffee, crawfish etouffee, shit like that. Cajun pasta. I want to try to make some dishes like that. I did film a bit of a cooking video over the weekend. Joe cooking breakfast. So I'm still working to put that video together, plus, some vlog video together. And the fact of the matter is I just didn't have time today. I thought I would get everything done in time. I did not. Relax says, I'd be one grumpy SOB if I didn't eat for 5 days. Oh, man. Yeah. Hey, the emotional toll that shit puts on you. And I ain't been no peach as of late neither. Because I'm still doing my fasting. And the only thing that I'm surviving off of is black coffee. So it's like caffeine and nothing. So I've been a little more irritable. I don't feel like I've lost any weight in the cooking video that I filmed. And I didn't even eat that. I made breakfast for my family. I made them sausage, gravy, and biscuits. And it was, came out really good. Third time making it. First time it came out great. Second time it came out wrong because the gravy didn't gravy. And then the third time I filmed it and it came out good. Racism says, bro, how are you going to work construction while fasting for days? Well, I tried to do it a couple of weeks ago, and you saw how that worked out. Your boy fell out into the diabetic seizure with a heat stroke. So you're right. It is a struggle. I remember when I was flipping houses, though, I was fasting. And I remember, obviously, I wasn't working as hard as I've been working as of late, which some would still argue isn't very hard at all. But, yeah. I remember I was doing the fast, and when 12 o'clock would come, the first thing I would eat would be a big-ass navel orange. And I felt like the citrus, for whatever reason, it was probably just a mind thing, but I felt like that helped to burn fat. Yeah. I'm also trying to get into like carnivore diet a little bit. I don't know. I just want to be in better shape, man. Everyday Winner says you need to make sure you stay away from carbs leading up to a fast. Carbs make you hungrier the next day. So that was an interesting thing from that video that I watched of the guy who did that 5-day fast or 7. What did he do? He did a 7-day fast. He ate pizza and candy bars the night before. He was like, and he was talking about it during the fast. He was like, yeah, I definitely did not do the recommended lead up to this. Hey, Brian, what it do, man? Shout out to you. I'm not doing much. Just did my little work that I had for today. Was not much of anything. Got back. Not going to be able to get a video done in time today, so I figured I'd do this live stream and just kick it with you guys. It's been a lot that I've been sharing in videos. A lot of people have had a lot of things to say, so maybe we can address some of those things here today. Essentially, in the nicest way possible, I guess what I'm trying to say is, say that shit to my face. I'm kidding. I don't really take too much of it to heart. Some people did say that my arch that I did on that curved plaster job looked like shit. I thought that it looked good. I went back and I saw it today. They painted it. It looks just like it looked before, except with some paint on it now. They're happy with it. Ultimately, it was only going to be what it was going to be. It was only going to be what it was going to be. We were only reworking that one half. So when it came up to the middle and then the other half, we didn't really rework that side probably as much as we should have for the cleanest look. It was a clean look, but it wasn't the cleanest look. And I understand that now perfectly because when I'm reading comments and people are like, oh, Joe, the arch looked like shit. And then I'm like, man, it didn't though. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I can see a couple little imperfections, but the shit was smooth. But then I go and I look at like arch work that, professional drywall and mud people do, and that shit is flawless. And I'm like, okay, I see what they're talking about now. I see what they're talking about. Everyday Winning says, yeah, man, people used to hunt for days. I mean, look at cheetahs. Cheetahs don't even really eat unless they capture something. You know, look at animals. Obviously, we're not quite animals. McFly with a donation. Shout out to you, man. I'd do the 5-day with you. Hit me up. Yeah, I think I'm only going to do a 5-day. I don't think I'm going to do a 7-day, and I'm pretty sure that's what dude did. But it was when he hit like day 5 or 6 that he felt like God body. Now, here's the crazy thing, and by that I mean he like all of a sudden had like this unbelievable sense of energy where those first couple of days were whooping his ass. And he said, like, I guess he was running off of adrenaline or whatnot. I just want to see what it's about. I don't even know if I could do it for real. I would probably fail a G.I. Jane ring the bell scenario. Adapt says, did he start drinking yet? Oh, God. Are you talking about me drinking? I wouldn't mind a drink right now. I've got a little Hypnotic and Hennessy right here, a little Incredible Hulk. I'm kidding. It's a Mountain Dew Baja, and it's diet. That shit's good. Super good. Steven says, not sure why Gene is working if he's trying to get that check. That check is supposed to already be decided upon. Buddy getting $100,000. Now, the lawyer takes 30%. And then they got to pay his medical bills. He said he's going to buy the van off of me, which I need him to do. Oh, shit. You know, I tried to refinance my truck Friday. I was sharing about that in video. I'll share with you. Folks, the numbers came back in. And you know the numbers are bad if I won't even jump on it, right? Like if it's so bad that I even recognize it's this bad. So my payment on my truck is $1,060 a month. I've been paying on my truck for over 3 years now. I'm more than halfway done paying off my truck. Still owe $32,000 on the truck though. But shit, I think I bought the truck for like $77,000. So my interest rate on that is 4%. And I wanted to refinance it because paying $1,000, it's like paying a freaking mortgage. Plus I pay a mortgage. Plus I pay another vehicle. Plus I pay all sorts of other shit. So I'm like, all right, let me try to refinance the truck. Maybe this is going to make sense for me. The guy at the bank, he's like, well, what do you want your payments to be? I was like, shit, like 6 something. So he comes back and they're going to give me $670 a month. That's what my new payment will be. At an 8.99% APR. I'm like, yo, what the world? Hey, 8.9? I got a 2% mortgage on my I had 2% interest rate on my mortgage, a 4% interest rate on my current loan for my vehicle, and y'all trying to give me 9%. When did I get evicted? When did I get an eviction on my record? Buddy come back telling me, oh, it's because you got a super high debt to income ratio. Your shit's 70%. It's supposed to be 30. I'm like, man, I ain't never missed a payment. You know, I got a decent credit score. My credit's like a 680. I know it used to be over a 700. But then I did miss a payment on something, and it hit me for 50 points. They didn't give me that derogatory mark, though. They got rid of that derogatory mark. It was a big mix-up on the payment situation. But it hit me for 50 points on my credit. Dog, they trying to get me, and this is the crazy thing, $670 a month from $1,050, double the interest rate for 60 months. 60 months? My current payoff is $32,000. I got 32 payments left on the truck. You're trying to rope me in, and you know what the crazy thing is? This is why I really said I ain't going to do it. I'm like, yo, as soon as I sign on that dotted line, that payoff amount is going to go up to 40 grand. Because, Joe thinking would be, oh, shit, yeah, let's just go ahead and sign that. The payment goes down. I just hurry up and pay off the truck. But you ain't going to be able to. That little early payoff penalty is going to come in the form of what they're going to tack on to what you owe. They're going to just throw that on there immediately. Hey, Mr. B. Green, what it do? Shane, what it do? Ireland. Man, we just had a football game in Ireland. Yeah, man. Shout out to Ireland. Appreciate you being up in here. Just take out a regular loan and pay off the truck. So the crazy thing is, real life doomer, this bank guy, good guy, he's been working with me a lot. So I told him I'm probably not going to jump on that. So now he's trying to get me some credit card so I can like transfer all my debt over at a 3.9% APR. And then I don't know what he's trying to do. He's trying to get me roped into something. Steve says, take the Red Sox to beat the Yankees, easy money. Steve, you're a Boston fan. I can tell that by your profile picture. It sounds like you're betting with your heart right there. I know the Red Sox just made it in. Woo. Joe talks a lot. Shout out to the 233 up in here. Appreciate y'all taking the time to rock with me on this. So it's crazy because if I was doing this over on Twitch, I would be playing video games right now. And I need to let you know, Joe is trying to not be playing video games no more. That's something else I'm trying to fast from. I got this game that I've really been enjoying as of late, but I've been enjoying it a little too much. And I came to that revelation last night. I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Joe? This is a going nowhere endeavor right here. Playing football games. I mean, what did I say? I was reading this comment. Playing video games. I need to be constantly working. Constantly strategizing. Because I had another revelation over the weekend, and that shit crippled me. And maybe that's why I was playing the video games. Maybe they were my Haagen-Dazs. I think that they were. I had a revelation while we were in the casino, and this is before we even got to losing. So this was not any kind of woe is me, I'm a degenerate gambler type of shit. I had this revelation as we were walking into the casino, and maybe I was thinking about my past. Like, damn, man, I used to be able to just bet $1,500 on a baseball game and not even worry about it. I got a $100 football ticket. I'm sweating that right now. But I got to thinking about things, and I was like, yo, man, my life kind of, in the work aspect, kind of freaking sucks. I mean, I'm down unbelievably bad. And as much as I want to be like, yeah, man, hey, we're finding a way. It's Gene and I, and we out here doing odd jobs, and I'm making roughly a little bit more than $1,000 a week. It ain't enough. Not for old Joe. Not for what I want to be able to accomplish in life. And here's the other thing. I realize that what we're doing right now is a going nowhere endeavor too. We're just basically treading water and surviving. So I'm thinking to myself, am I wasting my time with this? And I'm not saying I'm going to quit doing the odd job work. But dog, I got to look at the bigger picture. And I think I was using the video games as like an escape mechanism. Like, don't think about it, Joe. There's nothing you could do about it. You're a failure. But I've shared with you guys, like, a little bit of my idea for After Prison Show, and that is, making it more like Joe Does Stuff. Here's a guy who came home, found success, pissed it away, failed a bunch of times, and now he's back doing the one thing that all guys do when they come home from prison, or a lot of them. You go into the construction aspect and try to excel in that. I thought about sharing a variation of something like that over on After Prison Show, and then on Joe Does Stuff, really opening it up. Joe in the kitchen whipping up. Really just kind of shooting for the moon. And even if you miss, type-ish. Russell says sell products, not services. So you're telling me it's drugs. Real Life says, why don't you stream on Kick too? Kick hasn't been too favorable for us. And the only time that I've been doing that has been when I'm multi-streaming on like Twitch or something. So maybe that's the reason for it. I just don't have time to try to build up something from nothing like I would have to do over on that particular platform. The Asian White says, go work at Food Line. I worked there when I was 16 years old, actually. One of my first jobs. Not my first job, but one of my first jobs. Joe started working at 15 years old. 15 years old, I had my first job ever. I worked in an asphalt plant. My father helped get me that job, as a matter of fact. It was a summertime job. I'll never forget it for as long as I live. I was making, what was I making? $9 an hour. I was making $9 an hour working construction when I was 15 years old. Try to pay a guy $9 an hour now, and you can't. Yeah, man. But that was a good summer. Joe was the only one who had money for the Nintendo 64, which had just come out back then. Yeah, man. I think my life has played out that same old scenario time and time again. When I was 15 years old, I was working a job. None of my other friends had jobs. They were lazy as fuck. All they wanted to do was fuck off for the summer. But not Joe. Joe went to work 7 to 5, Monday through Friday, sweeping floors and picking up shit. And then, on the weekends, we'd go to the mall and we would ball out. Joe had a little $225 paycheck. Man, hey, we would ball out on that damn thing. But they were using me, though. Just like they did on After Prison Show. Son of a bitch. Finkel is Einhorn. But I think that it built character. It put this desire to work in me, maybe. Maybe it did. Russell said, no, find a quality product other than drugs. Got it. Hey, Lieutenant Dan, what it do? Shout out to you. Yeah, man, Linda, what it do? Hopefully you're not my customer, Linda, but welcome regardless. We do have a customer, 2 of them actually, that know me from video. One of them knows me from video, and we started working for her. The other one found me in video. And matter of fact, I just was working on her house today. And that was kind of wild. JW says, did you build a new computer yet? I have not. I'm going to do that on the live stream. 5070 graphics card, 850 watt power supply. Putting that in my other computer. I bought a 5070 graphics card. I don't even know why I did this dumbass shit. I tried to put it in my other computer, and the only thing that lit up when I turned the computer on was this little light on the graphics card. It was just an orange light. Yeah, so I Googled that, and turns out my computer didn't have enough power to supply that. I think I had 600 watts going to that computer. The whole premise of me getting that, though, was because this computer right here that you can't see is so screwed up. Essentially, I just need to get rid of this computer. I've been troubleshooting this, can't figure it out. Maybe you guys can help me if anybody knows anything about computers. My C drive, which is my main hard drive on this computer, runs at 100%, almost 100% of the time. When I Google this shit, it tells me that I've got malware, virus, corrupted files, or something. And I've tried to go through all of these things, and I can't figure out what it is. One thing it told me to do was don't let C drive index all of your files. I ran that bullshit. I just got to get rid of this guy. It's been with me for 10 plus years. She's a bit of an ancient artifact. So when I do the computer build, I would like to do that. I'd like to live stream that. And I've got a laptop that's even more ancient than this guy, and I'm going to try to use the laptop to do that live stream. Lieutenant Dan says, I got my own house building business. I could use some help. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm working for a realtor right this second, and who knows, man? Yeah. Who knows? Hey, back row, what it do, man? Appreciate the dono right there. Joe been throwing shit at the wall, waiting on something to stick forever. Entertaining, but crazy. You know, the biggest issue is, and I'm just going to call it for what it is it's all I know, I guess. Let me say this the right way. I did that a lot with After Prison Show, right? Which was my greatest success, but also my biggest failure. No boo-hoo, just what it was. And it's my most important story, is the fact that I came home from prison and basically immediately became successful on the internet. It was unheard of back then. Nobody had done anything like that. We got one other guy before me doing it. Now you look at it and it's what it is. It's everywhere. It's inescapable. You know, the content is, it's just, it ain't what it was back then. And maybe that's why it was easier for me. I think to myself, if I came home now and tried to do that now, I think I would actually be successful. I think my personality and charisma on video might have separated me from the crowd to a certain degree. And it would be nice to see what other guys have tried and what's worked versus what hasn't worked. Because when you're the new blood, all that good jazz. But the point that I'm making with this is, we went to Mississippi a couple of months ago. And my wife and I, we went out to dinner. We went out to dinner with one of her friends. And one of her friends had a new boyfriend. New boyfriend had just come home from prison from serving 15 years. So we go to the one restaurant in town, this horrendous Mexican restaurant. Place freaking sucks. Their food sucks. Like, how does a Mexican restaurant suck? Well, this one does. So anyways, we go to this restaurant for dinner, and, me and Buddy don't really got nothing to talk about because I don't know him and he don't know me, and I don't know if he knows that I know that he just got out, and I don't know if he knows about me and, what I've done, whether in relation to time or the internet or both. So by the time him and I finally get to talking, and because I don't want to just be like, yo, man, how much time did you just do? What you was locked up for? Because to a guy coming home, if he doesn't know that I know that, that's kind of like, I don't want to say like insulting, but, the guy might think, damn, man, do I look like I just got out of prison? Maybe he's not going for that look. So by the time him and I finally get to talking, there's a point to this. He starts telling me what he's been doing since he's been released. He's been released for a couple of months, maybe like 6 months at this point. He's got a job. He's got a really good job. He's working construction. He's got a truck. He's got a really nice truck. Not sure if girlfriend bought the truck for him or not. I didn't ask about that. Maybe he bought it for himself. Who knows? But he said he was doing side work as well. I said, well, what are you doing? He's like, I'm painting houses. I'm like, oh, shit, yeah, I used to have a business, yada, yada. We spent more time talking about that, him doing side work and how I used to paint too, than we did about the prison aspect. But we did talk about the prison aspect. And I was like, hey, look, something else you should consider doing if you feel like doing it. Maybe share your story on the internet. You did 15 years. People would be interested to hear that. But he kind of looked like, if I had to, try to explain how he looked like, I don't know, your run-of-the-mill white dudes, right? Who just got out of prison. That's what he looked like. And he wasn't no hell of a talker. He was kind of the quiet, reserved type. So that probably would have not really done well for him had he tried to do this. But I did tell him, hey, consider doing it. Man, that shit could be like a money printer for you if you do it right. You can make a lot of money on the internet. I said, but this is where the conversation took a turn, and this is what kind of opened my eyes, too, to something that I'd never really thought about. I said, but just don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? Even though I'm giving you this idea, don't put all your eggs in this one basket and think that this is going to be that thing that's going to carry on forever. It might be cool for a little bit. It might bring you in some additional money, but it might not, or it might not be there forever or very long. Who knows? And it got me to thinking about my particular case. And, I came home from prison. I worked at 3 jobs when I came home. I worked at a temp service that was bullshit. I worked at Little Caesars for 2 days. And then I worked at the concrete porn job for maybe 6 months. And I was a laborer at all of these jobs. No real skill sets. Filming videos the entire time, hoping that something's going to shake. Something did shake. The internet took off for me. I was able to quit the job and never look back. But that was all that I had. And granted, that carried on for a good long time. The point that I'm making with this is, Joe is a guy that, thank God, I did try all of those different business ventures, like flipping houses and getting out there and trying to get my hands dirty with things, landscape business, moving company, moped rental service, cleaning business, drone photography service. There were a lot of things that I was doing. Thank God that I did that, because when it was all said and done, Joe was going to essentially, had I not done that, I'd have been left with no skills. So I would have been back to putting the fries in the bag, bro. Maybe that's where that saying comes from. As a person who's popular on the internet, and when that time runs out, put the fries in the bag, bro, because you probably have no other skill sets. So you damn right I've been throwing everything at the wall, hoping something's going to stick. I've been doing that since I came home from prison. And I found something that worked for almost 7 years. Same amount of time that I was in prison for. Now I'm trying to find it again. And of course, I would still love for it to be some variation of content. There's so much content that I enjoy outside of the prison genre, because between me and you, I'll tell you this here, but I'll never tell you this over on After Prison Show. Because I was going to do this live stream over there. I freaking hate the prison genre. And I don't want to be, because essentially all I would be now is just doing what everybody else does. And Joe ain't never really been that. I don't want to be that. Don't get me wrong, I've done it. But there's plenty of things people have asked me to do that I'm just like, man, I'm not doing that. X, Y, and Z is doing that. Joe react to 60 Days In or some shit. Nah. I don't even watch those shows. But I tell you what I will do in the prison genre. What happens when a guy comes home from prison, becomes tremendously successful sharing his prison experience on the internet, and finds success in that carries over for the same amount of time that he was incarcerated for. 7, say it with me, 7 years. And now, after pissing all of that away, he's starting over. Canvassing neighborhoods, trying to find odd work and side jobs. I'm telling you, there's something in that. Back row, shout out to you for that donation again, man. Appreciate you. I've stayed sober, free, and kept food on the table the legal way, which is rare for an ex-con. Would have been easy to slip back to my old ways. Salute. You ain't lying. You are not lying, and shout out to you, man. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to say this here, too. I'm dropping a lot of truth bombs on this. One reason why I don't particularly care for doing live streams because I just overshare. But I will say this, and again, Back Road's a major salute to you, man. Staying sober free, keeping food on the table, doing it the legal way. Hopefully you've been happy too. Because that's one thing that I have not really been very much of, is the happy part. Even when I was like really successful, I was never really happy. And the reason for it is because I was always fearful that it was going to be over one day. I knew that it would be. Maybe I manifested that. Don't get me wrong. Like meeting and marrying my wife, great memories and time there. The birth of my son, nothing can even come close to that. Being a father, all those things, you know, happy in those regards. But career-wise, I look at so many other people who have, and this is when I was successful, I would look at so many other people who have these steady, stable, either jobs or careers, and they were so much happier than being a stress bucket. And I mean, I think being a business owner, that this probably relates to as well. You know, all you're going to do is worry. What if? I can't secure any more work. What if this is my last job ever? And nobody wants to hire me again? What if I just can't compete? Billy, shout out to you, man. Asian White says, Joe, you should react to your old videos. Man, it's like night and day looking at those old videos. And I've done that a few times. I'm good with what I got going on right this second, you know, and, you know, if I could get the time to do so, I would be doing more shit for After Prison Show, but unfortunately, I got to be doing this work. I enjoy sharing the video aspect of it with you guys here on Joe Does Stuff. Some kind of a way, I'm going to get it all figured out and be able to do more for all things that I have and still be doing what I'm doing now. Oh, yeah, but the point that I was going to say is, you know, we're probably moving next year. So it's really not important for me to be building anything up again here. I guess it's best that I just be doing the treading water thing. We're going down south. You know, we're going to Mississippi or Louisiana. We're going to one of them. We got to get my son close to the family, and, you know, that's where his cousins are at. That's where his grandparents are at. Because there just really ain't nothing here. And maybe a fresh start is exactly what I need. We all need. Who knows? Dawn says, you shouldn't cook while fasting. It will only make you hungry. I bet poor Gene can't hardly wait for that 5-day fast attitude. Aw, Dawn. You know, it's... old poor Gene. Poor Gene. Gene riding around in a vehicle, got no vehicle payment. Oh, poor Gene. What did Gene make per hour today? I gave Gene $75. We worked for, well, shit, I probably shouldn't tell you the math on that because that might actually not be good. We were only out for 3.5 hours. Oh, poor Gene. Can hit your boy up anytime he needs some money. Joe, look out. Oh, poor Gene. And so what? You know, I give Gene some shit for a lot of time, even though I don't even give him shit all the time. It's. I hate to say it like this, man. We gotta do better. You know, I'm not on no boss type shit. It's not about that at all. It's just about like a common sense aspect and I expect you to know the type shit that we doing because we do it day in and day out for the most part. Or, just live up to the expectation of what I know that you're capable of. I wish I had somebody who would jump down my shit the way that I try to jump down somebody's shit. And I don't do so to degrade. I'm trying to, think of like a boot camp situation where somebody's screaming in your face. Why are they doing that? Are they trying to mold you into something better? I'm not saying that I'm anything like that. But God bless you. You can't even have a gripe. What we supposed to be? It ain't never going to be hunky-dory all the time. You should have done what you really should be doing is saying, Joe, you are a freaking, your shit should be studied for the authenticity of it. Where so much nowadays is faked because we want everybody to like us. You look at some of these video content creators, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to. And I'll catch hell for this, but you look at somebody like an SB Moen, who is looked at as like, the guy, he's like Bluey, for God's sakes. Like, everybody just loved that guy. When Bluey made his comeback to talk to you as an adult, because you're all grown up now, you grew up watching Bluey. Like, it was a tear-jerking moment. You got this guy, SB Moen, hey, I couldn't help but to notice your grass was tall. Can I cut that shit? No. You ain't got to pay me. You're making me get the bronchitis, Steven. You get me? You get my blood. You get my blood pressure worked up, Dawn. Don't think for a second that shit ain't staged. He might be paying them. Listen, hey, I'm gonna give you $100. Let me cut your grass and make it a feel-good moment here. I got to film this shit. What's that? You got a question? Shut the fuck up. Let me cut your grass. Here's $100. Get out of here. Hey, guys. I was driving through this neighborhood, and all of a sudden, I seen this grass that was cut. Turns out it was a paraplegic. She didn't have no arms and no legs. I knocked on the door some kind of a way she was able to answer. I give it to you real. I gave it so real one time, and, I was the bad boss for that, and granted I was. And, I wear mines. If I'm wrong, I got no problem admitting it. And sometimes I've jumped down Gene's shit, and I'm like, damn, man, my bad. This shit's just aggravating. Sorry, Dawn. I just had to let you know. But in terms of the 5-day fast, oh yeah, I'll probably be delectable. Might make for some good views though. People are saying Al Blades. Yeah, I don't know. Probably just somebody else copying, what SB Moen guy was doing. He was an innovator in that regard. Let's time lapse, cutting grass. And now you've got people even outside of the grass cutting realm who are copying it. I've seen painters doing it. I've seen power washers doing it. And everybody wants it to be a feel-good situation. Again, Joe being somewhat of an aristocrat. I don't know if that's the right word or not. Just sounded badass. But, Joe being some kind of an anomaly. I would love to do something like that, except make it different. Gee golly whiz, you're down on hard times? Yeah, I'm still going to need you to pay me for that work. You can't pay. You need to feed your family. Listen, mechanics lean. Family couldn't pay me because they had to feed their family, so I put a mechanics lien on their home. They'll never be able to sell this without me getting my money first. And I mean, I know that sounds horrendous, but please know that if I ever did something like that, it would 100% be staged. Because no bullshit, I shared this in video. I don't want to come across too much of an asshole. I am one, but I really ain't. You know, we just did that curved plaster repair job that I think came out well. The customer thinks it came out well. Could have came out better according to professional drywall plaster people, and I understand that fully. But it came out well for what we did and what we charged. But it came time to get paid, and I just felt so bad in that moment because I was finally able to kind of sit back and just realize the bigger picture, and without putting these people's business out there, because I won't, you know, they were definitely visibly dealing with some hard times. And if I was in any type of a better position than I am, I would have loved to have been able to say, hey, look, this one's on the house. But to just be 1,000% authentic with you, I would have had to say, but it ain't nothing for free. I need to film this shit. And matter of fact, I need to film you reacting to me telling you that this is free. Have you ever acted before? You haven't. Okay, well, here's what I need you to do. When I tell you that I'm doing this, like I'm doing God's work here and I'm not charging you, I'm going to need you to cry. Think about something sad. I need real tears. Real tears, people. I need real tears. This is an SP mowing situation. Oh, my God. Forgive me. I have nothing against that guy neither. I just sound like an unbelievable hater, and I probably am. Good God. Who wouldn't want to get paid to cut grass? And I'm talking about, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars to do so is what he's making, you know, doing those type of views that he is. Woo. Don's trolling me right now, saying, Joe, did you hit up the casino buffet? We don't have a casino buffet. This isn't Vegas. This is Portsmouth, Virginia. For those of you who don't know, Portsmouth is the worst city in my state. Unbelievably ghetto. Probably derogatory of a word to use, but it's the truth. Our crime rate is ridiculous. Every day. I mean, this shit might as well be like New York City or something. Freaking Jackson, Mississippi, like somewhere that has like a horrendous crime rate. So let me tell you, they do not got no free buffet at my casino. But, Dawn, thank you, because you just gave me a story to share. Thank you for that. Redskin Chris, shout out to you, man. Hey, Christopher, what it do, brother? Hope all's been well with you. Folks, I was at the casino this past weekend, and we were watching college football. We were watching Ole Miss put belt to ass against LSU. Should have bet that game, but I ain't gonna lie. I was scared to death. I thought LSU was gonna win that shit. Wheats smashing Lane Kiffin's dog. Like, how could LSU lose that game? You already in the head of the coach. Did you know that the Wheats, I think that's their name, there's like 4 of them. They're 4 brothers, and they all play for LSU. Shit is crazy. One of them smashing the head coach of Ole Miss's daughter. And he's okay with that. Probably trying to get that kid in the transfer portal. Ole Miss 5-0 right now. But so we're at the casino. We're watching the games. And again, my city is so freaking just slum-ridden that you got to know, like, people just go to the casino just to watch the games. They ain't buying no drinks. They ain't putting no money in no machines. They drinking that free complimentary little bottled water that the casino's giving away. That's the only thing they giving you is the little complimentary bottles of water. So Joe got a football ticket that is very important. I put $100 on a 2-pick parlay. I took the Tennessee-Mississippi State game, and I took the over. The over was 63.5. Halfway through the third quarter, my wife is like, if you would have asked me, I would have told you to take the under. Who takes the over on the weekend when you've got all ranked teams playing ranked teams? Those are all going to be low-scoring affairs. So I'm feeling like the biggest dummy in the world, but that shit hit. Joe hit the over. The final score was like 80. Talk now. I figured that was going to be the hardest game for me to hit. Turns out that was the only one that hit because my other game would not hit. Because Joe's dummy of a self, I took the Georgia-Alabama game. And who was Alabama these days? Alabama lost to Florida State, who we all thought Florida State was going to be that team, but then they lost on Friday night to the University of Virginia. So I'm like, yo, there's no way in hell that Georgia cannot put belt to ass against Alabama. But what I didn't realize was Kirby Smart can't beat Alabama. In fact, he's like 4-13 against Alabama or something like even worse than that. In fact, Georgia turns into Bartholomew High anytime that they play Alabama. I didn't know that. I didn't know that in the fourth quarter there wasn't going to be any more scoring. I thought in the third quarter we reached the turning point and Joe went to sleep because we were already home from the casino, but the story is actually about being in the casino. And there not being a free buffet, and the only thing that they give you is complimentary waters. And people go to this casino probably like homeless bums and shit. Go to this casino just to watch the games because they got a whole big, nice display of all the games. It's a really cool spot. They got these nice chairs. You know, the sports book is right there. 1-7, Redskin Chris said. That's what Kirby Smart is against. Well, he was. Now he's 1-8 against Alabama. Yeah, Kirby Smart turns into not so smart because this son of a bitch had the opportunity to tie the game up. Should have went for the field goal, went for the first down. You only needed 1 yard. You couldn't get that. There were 13 minutes left in the game. There was no more scoring in the game. How you got two of the best schools and nobody scores for 13 minutes? But that's Joe's luck. All I needed was Georgia to win by 3. Thought that it could happen. It should have happened. Turns out it never happens. I didn't know, but now I do. I'll never bet Georgia for nothing ever again. They cost me my ticket. So check this out. So we're in the casino. We're watching the Georgia-Alabama game. We are in Portsmouth, Virginia. Have I told you that it's a very slum freaking city that I live in? So we're sitting almost at the front row. And it's almost like a theater, the way that it's set up. You got like rows of these really nice chairs. And then it goes back to like the bar area. And then there's like some tables in the bar area. So we're watching the game. There's a guy sitting right beside me. The game just started. Alabama's getting their shit off. They're going down the field. They're scoring. Before you know it, it's 14-0. So I asked the guy sitting beside me, I said, you bet Georgia? He said, yep. I said, yeah, me too. I said, they're going to come back, though. They're a fourth quarter team. They're a second half team, Georgia is, against anybody else except Alabama. But as soon as the score goes up to 14-0, all of a sudden from the back, you hear these dudes start talking about, roll Tide, hey, make sure they can hear you in the front. Roll Tide, and boy, Joe went back to Nam right there. I was back in the trenches. Yo, all of a sudden, I was back in the day room in the prison. Hey, Dawn, thank you for reminding me of this unbelievable story that I get to share. Yo, these dudes in Portsmouth, Virginia, we're in Slum City, talking about some Roll Tide from one side. It was almost like surround sound. That shit came from the right. Then this other dumbass old head talking about Roll Tide. Bitch, you never even been out of Portsmouth is what I'm thinking. And now I'm fuming because I'm back in the day room. I'm back in Vietnam. I'm sitting in the freaking day room of a prison watching this just like I used to when I got $5 riding on the game, but today I got 100. Yo. All I can think to myself is, yo, these bums in the back probably ain't even got a ticket in. You know what I mean? Who is betting? Who is taking Alabama is what I want to know. I guess maybe some people would have if they'd have known better, like I didn't know, that Kirby Smart couldn't beat these people. Roll Tide. This shit was like surround sound, like the Dolby surround sound. You got one dumbass old head on the right side talking about Roll Tide, and then the other one, hey, you done put the battery in his back, so now he's like, Roll Tide. We are in Portsmouth, Virginia. You never even been out of the state. Talking about some Roll Tide. What you know about Alabama? I'm mad as shit about this. God, I'm mad. And I'm back in the day room, so what this, makes me want to do is Joe got to turn up. Man, as soon as Georgia got that first touchdown, the score of 14-7, I jumped up so God bless it quick. I'm like, Roll Tide. Hey, for them in the back, make sure them in the back can hear. Roll Tide, where you at? Old boy next to me dapping me up. Yeah, get him, boy. Sick him. You done put the battery in my back. Now I'm in the damn day room. I'm like, Jesus Christ, you got to get me up out of here. Thank God. Thank God we didn't watch the whole game, that we couldn't. We only got a babysitter till 9:30. Joe had to get up out of there, man. I was in a cold sweat. I told a story many years ago. Jeez Louise, this thing's probably on a phonogram somewhere. Phonogram? What do you call those things? Belongs in the Smithsonian type shit. I fought over a football game before. I mean, that's how petty this shit can be. Tempers flare over nothing. 3 things you don't do in prison. You don't mess with no homosexuals. You don't borrow nothing, and you don't gamble. But Joe was doing all that. Wait, 2 of the 3. Joe was doing 2 of the. No, Joe, you was doing all 3. How little did I know in that moment when I stood up, making a goddamn fool of myself, trying to show out like them old heads. You know what, son of a bitch? I need to look in the mirror, because I'm one of them too. Oh, shit. Hey. I'm an old head just like they is. Hey, we going tit for tat. But if I'd only have known how right that they were, that it was Roll Tide after all. But man, hey, look, my wife was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm back. They put me right back in that mindset. Where the dice game at? Son of a bitch, we ended up on the bubble craps after that. So, hey, the freaking, the institutionalized, man, that shit can flare up at any moment. I can't believe I ain't wearing an orange shirt right now. I got me a damn college shirt on. Yeah, man. So, yeah. But it was crazy. So, no complimentary buffets at the casino whatsoever. And them old heads was drinking those little complimentary waters. They wasn't spending a dime up in that casino. The chessboard. I got a chess game on my phone, as a matter of fact. Yeah. If I'd have watched that whole game, I probably would have been fighting up in there. Damn sure would have been. Thank God that I wasn't, though. That shit made me feel foolish after the fact. Not only for jumping up and, engaging the way that I did, because I would have done the same dumbass shit in prison. It's how you bid. You know, watching sports in prison is probably one of the most stressful endeavors ever, especially if you're gambling, but not even because of that. Because it is going to be a shit talk fest, and it's going to take everything in you to not end up fisticuffs with a guy. Because once he sees who you riding for, and if your team is down, he don't even got to be watching the game. Hey, how about them Patriots, though? Bitch, you watching a damn Lifetime movie. You just check the score. You don't even watch sports. Whew. P-Rick says we need more gaming, Joe. Don't put that battery in my back because I'll crank that money up right now, man. Yes, I will. Thank you, Dawn. You inspired that story right there. I'm actually going to download this and make that a little video for After Prison show right there. Mr. Rich says I'm going to start a gaming channel. Good for you, man. Good luck with that. Bruce says Ole Miss versus the Ohio State for the ship. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really know how good Ohio State is just yet. Obviously, they're number one. They did just beat Washington, who I believe was 3-0 as well, too. And they beat them badly. But I don't think Ohio State has played anybody just yet. And I don't know who is really like that. Oregon just beat Penn State. You know, Oregon's always pretty nice. Ole Miss is number 4 now, which they just took LSU's spot. That's crazy. Alabama's back in the top 10. I don't know who you can really count on this college football season. I think that, and I hate to say this, I think Ohio State got a chance of being exposed too if they got to face somebody, but I don't even know who it would be who could beat them. Ole Miss is looking good so long as we keep that quarterback situation that we got. Virginia. UVA looking good. They're number 24 now. Lieutenant Dan says Alabama going to win it all. Man, if they played like they played against Georgia, they could. There's too many teams right now that are doing really good, and then some of those teams are doing really badly at the same time. Like LSU was a team that I thought was going to put up way more fight than they did against Ole Miss. Yeah. Superior says, is Cody ready to come back yet? Oh, man, wouldn't it be great to get the old gang back together? It certainly would be. Ramirez, what's going on with you? Shout out to you. Appreciate you being up in here, man. We're just shooting the shit. I couldn't get my video edited in time today. I wanted to do a live stream. I normally would do these over on the Twitch side, but I needed to get over onto the YouTube side. So here we are. Yeah. Damn, Don, I'm sorry to hear about that. Lieutenant Dan says, watch out for Notre Dame. Notre Dame is not anybody that I'm worried about this season. They're not proving nothing to me. Yeah, they just beat whoever they just beat the dog shit out of Arkansas. Arkansas just fired their coach because of that. I'm waiting for what's his name to get fired. Clemson's coach, Dabo. But Dabo's been there for 20-something years, so I'm glad that they're not firing him. And how about Jackson Dart with them Giants yesterday? Hey, Jackson Dart just first career start. I want to talk about this for a minute. Forgive me. I know football talk is not for everybody. Jackson Dart is a Ole Miss quarterback. Essentially, at this point, Eli Manning's protege. Like, him and Eli are like this now. Oh, cool. I just heard from a customer. That's great. So he just gets the start for the Giants. I thought that this was going to be a horrible decision because I feel like they gave up on Russell Wilson, or maybe Russell Wilson just gave up on himself. The Giants, the Giants were 0-3 going into Sunday. They were playing the Chargers, who were 3-0. And then Jackson Dart starts for them and has a good game and wins the game. Doesn't single-handedly win the game. The defense helped quite a bit. But he's the starting quarterback, and he did well enough for that team to win. But here's the only thing that I want to say in relation to that. What about Shedeur? I know that that's a subject that people are tired of hearing about, but I want you to think about this for just a moment. I don't have any issue with Shedeur Sanders whatsoever. I like Dion. I like Shedeur. I want to see Shedeur do well. Shedeur was so set, gun-ho, that he was going to get drafted by the Giants in the spot that Jackson Dart did. Jackson Dart, I think, was like the 9th overall pick. Shedeur Sanders thought he was going to the Giants. He thought so much, in fact, there's video of him and Malik Nabers throwing the football in the streets of New York, and Shedeur was wearing the God bless it New York Giant cleats during his last game at Colorado. I bring this up because what if it was Shedeur time in New York yesterday, where it was just Jackson Dart time? It's just like, I'm not here to say it would have went one way versus another, but it's just wild to think what it could have been. Because what it really could have been for Jackson Dart or, Shedeur, if it was him in that position, is a recipe for disaster when you got these rookie quarterbacks coming in fresh out of college and then you throw them right to the wolves. They oftentimes fail. They oftentimes do not excel. The rule used to be, let's have him back up behind, a good quarterback for a little while. Let's get him with some experience under his belt. You're throwing all these quarterbacks out there, and they're failing, or at least failing for the first couple of years. And there's too many of them to list. Russell Wilson is trash, but he won a Super Bowl, and he went to 2 of them. The Chiefs to the Super Bowl. I think the Chiefs are unbelievable frauds. I hate the Chiefs. I don't like the Chiefs. I just don't like them. I don't knock anybody for the Chiefs being your team, but this year, the Chiefs aren't even the Chiefs. Okay? Travis Kelce, a changed man. I don't even think him and Patrick Mahomes like each other anymore. The shit's wild in Kansas City. The bigger story there is, what the hell happened yesterday with Lamar Jackson? Did Lamar Jackson quit that game? There's people who are speculating on the internet that man faked the injury because he didn't want to play football no more. You didn't want to play football no more. Buddy, you got a $250 million contract. And that's the other thing. Dog, these football teams are giving money. Hand over fist money. You could have saved the whole country, like a small country, with that type of money. We're giving money to quarterbacks that haven't done nothing. Yeah, Lamar should have been MVP last year. Okay, he had a good season, but we ain't done nothing in the playoffs. Get to a Super Bowl. How you giving these quarterbacks all this money and they ain't ever even been to the show? Or been to the dance. However that saying goes. How much money they give Russell Wilson to go to New York? $28 million, some shit like that? What'd they give Jameson Winston? $8 million? Jameson Winston ain't going to care. He's the nicest guy in the world. You gave him $8 million just to film TikToks. I'm not going to do the politics with you, Dawn. Sports, though, I'll do that all day long. Chris says, how about Jackson Dart's mom? I haven't seen her. Cam Scatterboo, I like Cam Scatterboo too, man. I'm actually rooting for the Giants, which is crazy. I never in my life would say that I was, but I like that little roster they got. I like Jameson Winston. I like Russell Wilson as a person. Jackson Dart, Cam Scatterboo, the defensive guy that they got, I can't think of his name, Abdul, whatever his name is. I think he's hurt, though. Nabbers is hurt. Got a torn ACL, probably, right? I haven't seen the if they said whether or not he got that. And shout out to the Dallas Cowboys too. Real quick, let me just say that. Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys as well too. I mean, such a bad team, and it all stems from the top. Another quarterback you gave way too much damn money to, who never did anything, who is never going to do anything. The best that you could do last night, and essentially what was your Super Bowl, considering you're going up against the Green Bay Packers and frickin' Micah Parsons, who you would not pay to keep. You know, the best that you could do was tie with them people. And it would be Micah Parsons, if I said Malik, sorry. Micah Parsons, who would actually get the tackle that would sack Dak Prescott last night to end the game. Ramirez says he's out for the season. ACL, that is super sad, man. Super sad. Oh, yeah, I just saw that torn ACL. God bless it, man. Damn. Anyways. Wild shit, man. I do love the sports. I do love the sports. All right, I think it's about my time to wrap it up. Neighbors, thank you. I said nabbers. Neighbors. Appreciate that. Mass One says, I can't believe we're 3-1. I can't believe y'all are neither. I don't know who I'm liking for, you know, for the NFL for this year. But there's a lot of teams that I am rooting for. I don't particularly have a team right now. So I'm just rooting for a lot of teams. Lieutenant Dan, love hockey. We got a little AAA team here in Virginia. And I love me some hockey. J-Man says, ain't no D in Dallas. Yeah. Crazy shit. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this thing up. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to rock with me on this. I just wanted to come through here and shoot the shit with you guys. Hopefully you found some interest and some enjoyment in this. I enjoy sharing the videos that I've been sharing with you guys, but I haven't had a video yesterday. Probably wasn't going to be able to get a video up today, and wanted to be able to let you guys know what's going on and hopefully try to line up some more work. We do have work lined up for tomorrow. We're going to be doing this work for the real estate guy. I'll have a video for you guys for tomorrow. And then Wednesday, we're doing a big exterior door job, which I am not looking forward to at all. I got a feeling that's going to be a real freaking can of worms. Dawn, if you think I've been, going in on Gene, well, just wait until that job. And I ain't going to be going in on Gene. I'm going to be going in on myself. Because I know and I knew better. And I know I'm going to say that. I'm going to say I knew better. I knew this was going to be a son of a bitch. I hate going behind somebody trying to correct some shit that they done screwed up. Because sometimes they can screw that shit up so bad there ain't no fixing it. Yeah, I'm getting ready to wrap this thing up. Appreciate you swinging through here. If you missed this, if you're coming in late, hey, check this thing out from, check the replay out, man. I told a pretty cool story in here. And it would certainly be a good one for after.